close out the show here, let's try to rank the running backs from this division, see if we can get a clear heads or tails. I mean, as we've been going through these guys, I think I know for the most part where you might lend yourself, Shane, but here's the five that I would say are in consideration. We can certainly put Tank in there if you just want to have the chance to believe. No, let's do it. All right, let's talk these six guys and pick your top five. Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, Joe Mixon, and Jonathan Taylor. What do we think? Who's your favorite out of that? We've kind of said some negative things about all of these running backs, honestly. But Shane, who's at the top of the heap? What do you see the order as?
So I've kind of got it in two groups and then a third group with Tank Bigsby at the bottom. But I've kind of got it in two groups where there's two pretty clear guys for me at the top. And then there's three guys below them. And I'm more confused on how to rank those three than I am the top two. I still have JT as number one. Very, very closely followed by Etienne. And then let me go back to the show sheet for a second. I put Pollard at 3, Mixon at 4, and Spears at 5. And that, like, you could convince me to flip Mixon over Pollard. If you left Mixon at 4, I could almost be maybe convinced to flip Spears over Mixon, which seems crazy to say, but those three are a lot more confusing to me than the top two. And to answer your true question, who's my favorite out of these?
Yeah.
It's the Jaguars running backfield. It's Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne. Like, that's another reason that I picked the Jags is I already loved Travis Etienne, and then they went and drafted Tank Bigsby, which, like, from a fantasy perspective, broke my heart because I really wanted Tank to go somewhere he could, like, have more playing time. Sure. But from a real football standpoint, I was like, all right, I'm going to go cheer for the Jags now because they've got two of my favorite running backs. I love Trevor Lawrence, and this will be a fun team to cheer for.
Yeah, I love that. Braylon Allen really got Tank Bigsby this year, which is unfortunate. Dustin, that's so interesting what you said about the bottom three, because I'll be curious to see where Dustin tracks here. Do you have a very clear list?
Yeah, and I will say when it comes to the bottom, my bias is definitely going to come through here. But I've got JT, ETN. I want to say Spears 3, Pollard 4, and Mixon 5. And I probably have Mixon too low, but again, that's just my bias against him. I'm not a big Mixon fan, so
I don't
just
disagree.
By default, he's going to be at the bottom of my rankings pretty much every time. So there's my top 5, Jake.
I like it. And Shane, again, you said you were very flexible with those three. And I think that our definitive list speaks to that, because I do have ETN just ahead of Jonathan Taylor. And that was even before you guys had me a little more worried about Jonathan Taylor. So now I'm more confident in that. And then I have Spears at number 3, just a slight preference over Pollard in that backfield. I do have Mixon at number 4, and then Pollard right behind him at number 5. But yeah, this is a weird division for running backs this year, and I don't know that I love it.